What's up? This is Army 2 Willis, and I want to take some time to talk to you guys about what's going on in month 4. There's been a lot of craziness going on, and after this class has finished, which it did on Monday officially for me, so I'm officially done with the class, but I haven't got my last grades in, but I'm still going to go over some things with you guys and kind of give you guys an idea exactly what's going on, what's expected of you. So far, in terms of creativity and workload, this class will ask a lot more of you than any of the previous classes have asked. So if that's something that bothers you, or if that's something that you're like, oh man, I don't really have the time, you're going to have to manage your schedule so that you can allow yourself more time to put more effort into these classes, because creativity can cost you points. If you're just doing something generic, like I'm just going to put a regular Word document out there, I'm not going to put any work into it, it will cost you. That's something that would definitely cost you in this. I'm going to start by talking to you guys about the Project Launchbox, because I want you guys to know what's going on. So let's share here exactly what that is. So as you see here, due to a delay with the Project Launchbox, they will not they will not be sending those out quite yet. Um, so we're gonna zoom in so you guys can see this here. So as you see, they contacted me back. They told me that the Project Launchbox, they're having some kind of delays with it, and due to whatever delays or whatnot they're having with the Project Launchbox, it has affected what my next class is. So my next class will not be design tools like it was initially thought. My next class will be discrete mathematics. So for me, there's going to be a change up, and for you guys that come after me, there could also still be that change up due to the delay and the materials needed in order to ship out these boxes. Expect there might be changes. So like me, you guys might not have design tools as your next class after this one. You might have discrete mathematics. Either way, I'm going to post videos for either one. So what I'll do is I'll put discrete mathematics as class 4, but I'll put a bracket that says, hey, this was supposed to be, or class 5, but I'll put a bracket saying, hey, this was supposed to be class 6, so you guys know. But either way, we're going to keep it chugging, and I'm going to keep posting the info to keep you guys up to date with what's going on and give you guys a general idea of what class is like. Uh, Jumping to grades, because that's something you guys want to know. This is what my grades look like right now. They're they're pretty good grades, but I also put maximum effort into everything I get. There's a high chance that I could just end up in this class with an A. I mean, if the work is not to that quality, I could end up in the current class with an A, but I don't think that's gonna happen. Before we even get into that, show you what I have in this current class and what I haven't been graded on, we're gonna talk about one of the assignments, because I want you guys to see the work quality is expected from you guys when you put in the work for these assignments. So this assignment here is a professional spotlight assignment where you have to go and watch some videos. There's going to be a list of videos that you have to choose from. You have to label what videos belong to what degree. You're going to have to put all your student information up here in the top corner, and then you're going to have to go down and you have to do your videos. He's expecting stuff like this, creativity. He's expecting for you to really take your responses to the videos and make it your own. As you're seeing here, I really took each video and did my own custom design with it to really make each video my own. They have custom backgrounds. They talk about each person, and they're all different and unique to each and every one. They're expecting you to write 5 or 6 detailed sentences about exactly what they're expecting from the class. So I'm going to give you details of exactly what it is they're expecting from you in this class. When you're writing your 5 to 6 sentences, they're going to expect you to write what you learned, what inspired you, what was your takeaway, and how you would use this information going forward to better or improve what you're aiming to do. So whatever degree you're shooting for, how are you going to take this information from these videos and use it to help you be more successful? That's one of the paragraphs right there. Boom. The other paragraph, except for your first one, you can split up the questions into two because it's your first one. The first two actually, because that's the ones from your degree. The second two you do, which I chose computer animation, is going to be those same five and then a compare and contrast. So I split my compare and contrast between the two of them, and we'll see how that turns out grade-wise. But I'm going to say I'm probably going to have an A in hopes of A+. I did the math, so it's probably going to still come out to be an A+, but we'll see as it goes. But you're going to have to write what you got out of it, a compare and contrast of what you have, and do the same thing for each video. He's really looking for you to make each one your own and make them all unique, and to have your images and whatnot kind of represent what it is you were doing your topic about. So I have like Kratos fighting the two Battlefield tanks in one picture, a Nintendo controller in another picture, because these are both about gaming and I'm in game design. Then this one was talking about what will your future look like, and it's one of the video topics for computer animation, along with uh, animating a photoreal digital face, which is actually a crazy video. I recommend you guys check this out. It's on TED Talks. All of mine I chose to get from TED Talks, but there is, I think all the ones in the options all come from TED Talks, but your third one doesn't have to be from TED Talks. It can be from Lynda or any other source you choose, but it has to be something that talks about some kind of talk like TED Talks, talking about your gaming field, or do you have to explain why you chose that video or whatnot, and answer the other questions and compare and contrast that as well. To give you guys more detail on what I mean, I'm going to show you guys the rubric. So this is the rubric for this class. As you see, this is all of what you have to do here just to get an 80. This is 80th. And like I told you guys before in the previous video, doing this doesn't guarantee an 80. So depending on how good or bad you completed all of these things, you're going to be somewhere near 80. So you could be slightly over or slightly less. It all depends on how much work you put in there. Without using the creativity, see, this is what they did for their creativity. And this is supposed to be like their example of like getting a 100. I took it beyond that because I felt what they wanted me to write about in the two paragraphs wasn't my strong suit. So I put more into the creativity to try to fill that gap. How that will pan out, I will let you guys know in the first video for the next class after this winter break. So there's going to be a good 2 or 3 weeks where you guys don't get a video from me. And then that first week, I'll make a month 4 final grades. It'll be something quick, like 10 minutes, just talking about what grades I got for these to give you guys a greater understanding of what I got and how much work I put into it. So this is just to show you how it's graded. Like 15% of your point, or 15 of your points, if you do exceptional, is turning in on time, making sure you put your assignment in the correct format, correctly naming the file convention the right way, not having any errors or grammars in that. Then it's going to be you covering all the information like you should. So did you review 5 or more videos? Did you have 2 paragraphs with 5 sentences each for each video? Did you cover all of this information that's supposed to be in the paragraphs about the videos? Did you customize this 15 points right here by itself? So this means if you don't do this part, you're only going to come out with 85. Did you customize your review by including cover or title pages, text formatting, headers, footers, photos, icons, and visual cues? And they're not just looking for you to just add some basic stuff. They're looking for you to truly make it your own. If they felt it was no customization, 0 points. Most of your information requested was not submitted, 0 points. No assignment submission, 0 points. If you submitted your assignment on time but failed to meet like the PDF format or grammar or something like that, 14 points or less. Somewhere between 14 and 0. That's somewhere between proficiency and needs improvement. This is your final grade, so they're not going to separate the two and go into detail. It's going to be instructor permitted. So if your instructor felt like you could have done better and they've seen better from you and you really slacked off, you could be on the lower end of this. Or if they felt like you put a lot in, but it wasn't exceptional, but it's an improvement over what you did before, you could be more on the proficient side instead of the needs improvement. But I just wanted to give you guys an idea of like what they expect from you from the assignments. Another thing they're expecting from you guys that you guys need to pay a lot of attention to is they're expecting you guys to do a reflections. See this? Reflection video. Remember all those other classes where you had to do a reflection and it didn't matter? In this class it does. That's 12% of your grade. So just not doing that reflection could be the difference between you passing or failing, having a B or an A, having an A or an A plus, etc., etc. It's important that you do the reflection assignment every week. I highly advise you guys use community discussion because this class is all about networking and communication and branching yourself out there to communicate with people. If you're not doing that with your classmates, you're kind of hurting yourself. I'm going to go here to just give you guys, not that one. Uh, so I'm going to go here just to give you guys an idea. Like when I'm responding, I respond a lot. I try to respond as much as possible to my classmates. Not responding 4 times to your classmates, that's going to hurt your grade. If it's not 5 sentences or more in your responses, meaning a paragraph with 5 or 6 sentences, it's not going to count as an answer, and it's going to hurt your grade. If you guys don't want to hurt your grade, don't do it. I messed up in this week, and I'm going to show you guys exactly what I did. So on my network plan, where I messed up was initial post was only 3 out of the 4 paragraphs. I didn't even realize at the time because I covered all the information in 3 paragraphs instead of 4, but the requirements were to have 4 paragraphs. So because of that, that lost me 10 points right there. 10 points. All because I missed one whole paragraph. But as you see, everything else was exactly the way it was supposed to be. So make sure you're paying close attention. Make sure you're not rushing to do the assignment. And have somebody else check over it. Have somebody else read it or reread it and pull up the assignment next to it. You know, minimize the screen like so. Set it on the side. Set the assignment on one side. And just check to make sure you're meeting the criteria. That's something where I messed up. And I'm telling you guys that because I don't want you guys to make that same mistake. But like I was telling you, you're going to be expected to do all these assignments. Uh, the course essentials, as you see, so far I got 100, but this one hasn't even been created. Just doing the professionalism assignment, checking this off and sending in any information you're supposed to be sending in. That's 10% of your grade. So skipping that, that's something I talked to you guys about in the previous video. I want to make sure I reiterate it. Don't skip that assignment. Do not. Do all the assignments. I would recommend, in all honesty, that you do the community assignments as well. As you see, I always do the community assignments, and I always respond to classmates. Always do the community assignments. And the reason being is because this class, they're really focusing on you networking with your classmates. So they want you to network. They want you to get out there and talk to your classmates. They want you to communicate and start building uh, a rapport and just really get to know them and build those connections because you never know. One of these people in your class, say you're a game designer like me and they could be an artist, they could be somebody who's really talented that you want to match with your own skills. Or you could feel that you're weak on the art side and having that artist fills that gap of where you're needed, if you get what I'm saying. So you need to really communicate. Something I learned about this class is there are fields, like I knew a lot about how the gaming field worked, but I learned about other fields that I had no idea had any role in gaming that play a role in gaming, even if you would have never thought. How does that play a role? It does. Uh, One of the biggest things for me was I got to do an interview with System Era. They're the creators of Astroneer, a game that's launching at the beginning of next year for its official release, but it's in early access right now through Steam and Xbox. If you have it on Xbox, it's Xbox Play Anywhere. But back to the topic, I sent out a lot of emails and stuff to a bunch of companies because I really wanted to get a chance to do an interview and ask them 10 important questions that kind of help people who are in the design field where we are now and get an idea of some yeses and nos, some do's and don'ts as we get towards that field. Like what some things they ran into as rookies and whatnot that they wish they would have known beforehand. And, a bunch of really important questions, and there's 10 of them. Look for that really soon. Expect to see that sometime by, I want to say, the first 2 weeks of January. So I'll put that video out. It'll be a video. I'll show you the actual responses they posted, but I will be taking their names out as a respect to them. So if you guys are interested in seeing what actual developers in the field, like not even noobs, veteran developers in the field, people that work for 343 Industries, Gears of War, you name it. If you want to know what they say and things that they can give us to answer these 10 questions that can help us moving forward, if this is the field for you, that's a video you're going to want to look for in January. Because by the time January comes, I'll have all the editing and whatnot done, and you guys be able to get the actual responses directly from the devs of what's needed to get you from here to being more successful by the time you finish here and you're entering the industry. Um, in terms of my grade, as you guys saw, right now it's like a 96.57. There was a few things where I messed stuff up. I got a 90 in week 1, and I got a 90 in week 3. So if I get 2 90s on these 2 main assignments in week 4, I still pass with an A+. If I get 2 100s, it's still an A+. If I get something like a bunch of 80s or whatnot, it's still an A. So it's really up to how the teacher feels I put my effort into the assignments, and that's something I keep reiterating to you guys. You got to put your maximum effort into every assignment you do, and that's the reason why I wanted to show you guys one of the assignments, just how much work I put into the assignment, so you guys have an idea of how much work is expected of you guys when you do the assignments. Anyway, as always, this is Army 2 Willis, and keep an eye out for that Launchbox video. As I showed you guys, it's not ready due to some kind of delay. It was supposed to be here on the 13th, but for whatever reason, it didn't get here on the 13th. So whenever it gets here, we'll do that review. We'll do some benchmark testing to compare it to other machines in the industry. We'll compare it to other laptops in the industry. We'll do a desktop versus laptop comparison and give you guys an idea of not just how much it costs, but where it sits today in terms of performance and workload. As always, I thank you guys for taking the time to watch this video and look forward for future content coming from me. Army 2 Willis, out.